nobody, baby, then they for you. All the fans, then they craze for you. You don't give youths, man, they work for do. Then we talk about your good name, Boku. Anytime we seek super there for we.
Sierra Leonean business magnate, investor and philanthropist Gibril Santigi Moseray Fadika was appointed as the first Commonwealth Africa Goodwill Ambassador and Business Ambassador for business, trade, investment, and charitable work of the Commonwealth Africa Initiative at a special event held in London, United Kingdom on 16th March 2016. The event brought together a wide range of world leaders and high-profile people from across the 53 Commonwealth countries, presidents, former presidents, ministers, high commissioners, members of parliament, policymakers, representatives of the private sector, civil society, youth, Commonwealth agencies, academia, celebrities, and the media came together for the event. Former President of Nigeria, H.E. Olusegun Obasanjo, who is the new co-chair of the Commonwealth Africa Initiative as part of the new Commonwealth Initiative alongside Dr. Caroline Harper, OBE, and Baroness Falter, announced the Goodwill Ambassador appointment, underlining that
when you have a business, as my brother here, you do a plan, you look for finances, you look for market, and when everything is put together,
Ambassador Fadika will be a champion for the Commonwealth Africa Initiative in promoting peace and development in the region. His engagement will contribute significantly to attracting investment and mobilizing resources towards the implementation of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Ambassador Fadika's knowledge, leadership, skills, and dedication to Africa's development will play a role in opening markets, increasing trade, and encouraging investment. Ambassador Fadika will contribute to government engagement with international partners. He would also engage in charitable work to eradicate extreme poverty for people in the Commonwealth by creating jobs, investing in education, health, housing, and other sectors. Speaking at the event, Ambassador Fadika emphasized his commitment to uniting and empowering people across Africa and to being a champion to advance business, trade, and investment in Africa and across the Commonwealth. He underlined the importance of eradicating extreme poverty and helping poor people work their way out of poverty.
What is causing poverty is unemployment. What is causing unemployment is all these wars. So I hope all my brothers and sisters sitting here, it's not that they want to live here, but the opportunities back home are very limited. And once we're able to improve the situation there.
It is indeed a historic moment for me. I consider it a blessing to be able to have this golden opportunity to champion the cause of Africa at a regional and international level. Promoting business and as well as engaging and empowering poor people, including women and youth, working along with other eminent Commonwealth leaders. We must eradicate poverty. We are born poor, but we must not die poor, said Ambassador Fadika. Before the award ceremony, Ambassador Fadika delivered a keynote address on the theme, Shared Prosperity, Mutual Security at the Commonwealth Africa Summit held at the prestigious Tag Hotel in Buckingham Gate in London from the 14th to 16th March 2016 in London, United Kingdom. The summit brought together government and business leaders from various parts of the Commonwealth to discuss and debate on various topics, ranging from trade and investment, entrepreneurship, leadership, counterterrorism, security, and economic development in Africa. In his keynote address, Ambassador Fadika said, "My country, Sierra Leone, experienced a major crisis due to the impact of the Ebola epidemic and the associated damage to communities and livelihoods. The economy was hit the hardest, with business closures and rising unemployment further devastating a country that had not too long emerged from a decade of civil conflict." Our business was seriously affected. As co-founder and executive chairman, I was greatly involved in the work of African Minerals Limited, a minerals exploration, development, and mining company with significant interests in Sierra Leone, which was forced into administration due to the Ebola crisis. We worked very hard to rescue the mining sector and brought in new investments. we survived. Now we have Shandong Steel, Pan-African Minerals Limited, and we are working across 16 countries in Africa. We appreciate the support provided and are indebted to the Commonwealth partners in the international community and my fellow Sierra Leoneans in tackling the Ebola virus. Together, we defeated Ebola.
We go dance for you. We go shake for you.
I'm setting pairs, a new dawn for the Commonwealth family. We need to grasp the moment with both hands and feet so that we can move Commonwealth forward. Excellencies, delegates, Africa's shared prosperity and mutual security lie both in our hands and collective efforts. The only way we can move Africa is for us to unite. As one family, think positively, be conscious to our people, because our biggest problem is poverty. And the only way to eradicate poverty is every year that is foreign direct investment, which is what I think we are striving to.
This ceremony, Chief Abasanyo is here today. A newcomer to the ceremony, Sierra Leone.
The summit began with a wreath-laying ceremony at the Memorial Gate where Ambassador Fadika, for the first time in history, laid wreath on behalf of Sierra Leone in honor of the dead of the Two World War. Ambassador Fadika also attended the Commonwealth Day service at the Westminster Abbey on the 14th of March 2016, in the presence of Her Majesty the Queen, His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh, Their Royal Highnesses the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Prince Harry, and the Duke of York. The event also attracted Dr. Kofi Annan, former Secretary General of the United Nations, Dr. Joseph Muscat, Prime Minister of Malta, and the new Chair in Office of the Commonwealth, Mr. Kamalesh Sharma, outgoing Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Baroness Scotland, General of the Commonwealth H.E. Olusegun Obasanjo, former President of Nigeria, Mr. David Cameron, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and a host of other world
We go
leaders.
die for you. We no go watch nobody. We go dance for you. We go shake for you. We go die for you. We no go watch nobody. Give me the wine, the one of a kind, super the best, we never lie. So many times when I spend in a yard, and you alone, keeping a time. So many people are coming here, and I tell me this and I tell me that, but yet still we do.
Ambassador Fadika also joined the outgoing Commonwealth Secretary General, Mr. Kamalesh Sharma, at the Commonwealth Young Leaders Award ceremony held at Marlborough House, the Secretariat of the Commonwealth. Ambassador Fadika expressed his interest in supporting and investing in young people in the Commonwealth through the Commonwealth Youth Program.
We go shake for you. We go die for you. We no go watch nobody. Give me the wine, the one of a kind, super the best, we never lie. So many times when I spend in a yard, and you alone, keeping a time. So many people are coming here, and I tell me this and I tell me that, but yet still we do the fans. We never mind. Think come quick if you do it so.
Sierra Leone, I'm here representing my company, Pan-African, at this great Commonwealth Conference. I'm very happy to be invited, first of all, to come and visit this conference. What I noticed between this summit and the other summit is the Commonwealth is started to showcase Africa, and they're trying to portray Africa in a different way. The partnership that they're trying to build between African countries that are in the Commonwealth, I think will be beneficial for both the Commonwealth and the countries that are in the Commonwealth. There are expectations, but they have not yet been tabled out properly. From what I've learned this past couple of days is the desire, the will between both parties, the Secretariat itself, the Africa Initiative itself, to ensure that the countries to where they're supposed to be within the Commonwealth. But basically, my primary interest is Sierra Leone. Most of you know the field that I'm involved in. My passion is to create employment for Sierra Leone. My passion is to help to eradicate poverty.
Ambassador Fadika came from a humble background. He was born in poverty and struggled to pay his school fees. Despite these difficulties and challenges, Ambassador Fadika never lost hope and continued in his efforts to seek a better life. He graduated from university and went on to become one of the leading entrepreneurs in Africa. Today, Ambassador Fadika is regarded as Africa's success story. Ambassador Fadika is Vice Chairman of Shandong Steel SL Limited and Executive Director of Pan Africa Minerals Limited, with a cumulative investment portfolio of over 3.1 billion United States dollars in Africa. With promising investments in iron ore, oil, and gas and related resources in 9 West African countries, among them Sierra Leone, Ghana, Ivory Coast, the Gambia, Senegal, Burkina Faso.
Because with poverty, we won't be able to move the country forward. So basically, what I will be doing is to ensure that I campaign and I lobby so that Sierra Leone and all African countries within the Commonwealth group will benefit from whatever is there. For Sierra Leone, it's for us to be steadfast, it's for us to be serious, it's for us to be focused, and it's for us to be determined to take our country to the next level. Only Sierra Leoneans can do it. Nobody can do it for ourselves.
And I have the pleasure of introducing, all the way from Sierra Leone, the land of the diamonds. Many of us who are from West Africa are going to be familiar with Moseray Fadika, who has done tremendously well in the country.
His Excellency, President Olusegun Obasanjo, who is also the godfather of Africa and the Baba of West Africa. Excellencies, members of Parliament, representative of the Commonwealth, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, greetings from Sierra Leone. It gives me the great pleasure to be here today, to be present at this meeting and to address you. I wish to express my gratitude to the Commonwealth family and the organizers for hosting the Commonwealth Africa Summit and for the warm hospitality that has been extended to me and my entourage. We are meeting at a momentous time, just after the adoption of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and the Commonwealth is at a critical moment in its history with the appointment of a new Secretary General of the Commonwealth. This time, gender balance, a dynamic female in the person of Baroness Cotlet. May we give her a big applause. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate her on her appointment, which I am certain heralds a new dawn for the Commonwealth family. We need to grasp the moment with both hands and feet so that we can move the Commonwealth forward. Excellencies, delegates, Africa's shared prosperity and mutual security lie both in our hands and collective efforts. The only way we can move Africa is for us to unite. As one family, think positively, be conscious to our people, because our biggest problem is poverty. And the only way to eradicate poverty is FDI, that is foreign direct investment, which is what I think we have been striving to do in the continent for the past 10 years. I'm very pleased to be here today representing the business side of the house. According to the 2015 UN World Economic Situation and Prospects Report, that is the WESP, the global economy is expected to grow marginally over the next 2 years. The average growth forecast for 2015 was 3.1% and 3.3% for 2016, respectively, compared to the growth estimate of 2.6% realized in 2014. This shows that there has been a steady and positive increase in growth rate in Africa. Africa's gross domestic product, GDP, was expected in 2015 to be strengthened to 4.5% and 5% in 2016 after subdued expansion in 2013. West Africa achieved relatively high growth of 6% in 2014, despite, like I said before, its battle with Ebola virus. My country, Sierra Leone, experienced a major crisis due to the impact of Ebola epidemic and the associated damage to communities and livelihoods. I can testify to this myself, because by then I was the CEO and Managing Director of the largest employer in Sierra Leone, African Mineral, employed more than 16,000 people. We had to shut down for almost 2 years, doing nothing. It was just miraculous because the entire GDP of Sierra Leone was totally dependent on African Mineral. And we lost everything for 2 years continuously. We are only striving to pick up from where we are now. The economy was hit the hardest with business closures and rising unemployment, which is the biggest problem we have in Africa, further devastating the country that had not too long emerged from a decade of civil war, which is not new to all of us. As co-founder and executive chairman, I was greatly involved in the work of African Mineral Limited, a mineral exploration, development and mining company with significant interest in Sierra Leone, which was forced into administration due to Ebola crisis. Can you imagine the situation? We are in, after having done or spent 15 of your hard-earned years trying to build a company, just because of nature, something beyond your control, you have to go into administration, lose everything that you've worked for in your entire life. But guess what? We did not give up. We were able to salvage. We did not let them. And today, through hard work and through the special grace of God, the company is growing and we are growing in a positive direction. Like I said, we worked very hard to rescue the mining sector and brought in new investment. We survived, we were lucky to survive. Many other companies worldwide, in Australia, Brazil, Canada, most of the iron ore mining companies were shut down because of the crisis. Now, we were able to succeed to bring in the Chinese, the Shandong Steel, who took over African Mineral. And as a result, all of the employees that were working for us have all been recalled. They are fully working now for the company. We appreciate the support provided and are indebted to the Commonwealth partners in the international community and patriotic Sierra Leoneans in tackling the Ebola virus. Together, with hard work, we are able to defeat Ebola and unemployment to a vast extent. Another significant challenge faced by Africa is extreme poverty. Poverty is what is tearing Africa apart. Poverty is what is killing us. Youth unemployment is also a major challenge in our country. African countries need to create millions of jobs over the next decade to absorb people entering the labor market. With almost 200 million people aged between 15 and 24, Africa has the youngest population in the world. And it keeps growing rapidly. Although many jobs have been created, they have not been enough to accommodate the number of young people in search of work. This is a major threat to our efforts to secure shared prosperity and mutual security. My personal advice in this regard is to advise all of us in this room. No employment is too small to take back to our country. The only way we can eradicate poverty is to create employment, is to attract employment. And how can we attract employment, international employment? Is to give them good tax credit. Give them friendly environmental area wherein they know their investment are protected. I've been in this for the past 20 years. Once you put all those mechanisms in place, then you can attract investment from all over. But once you invite a foreign company to your country, and then you start taxing them before they go, you cannot kill a tree before it grows. It's just a waste of time. So please, let's adopt that spirit. Africa's population is rising the fastest. The pressure to provide decent work opportunity for new labor market entrants will be particularly acute in Africa, which is true. Promoting more and better jobs for inclusive growth, the rural economy, formalizing the informal economy, addressing the needs of African economies. Climate change and deployable environmental practices must be top on our agenda, and we must all come together to tackle climate change and protect the environment from generations yet unborn. Energy for Africa is crucial. Without energy, African countries will find it difficult to compete with the rest of the world. Africa Economic Outlook finds the continent poised to resume its medium-term growth trend. However, looking beyond 2016, a number of internal and external factors may alter the context in which African policymakers seek to accelerate growth and deepen structural transformation. African economies have to take those changes into account and adapt their development strategies accordingly. What can we learn from China and developed nations and others that we can use to emulate, or we can emulate to do better business in Africa? We suggest to follow: promote and protect Africa business. That is, to make it very conducive for our citizens to be able to enter into the business market, to be able to have access to bank loans with strict regulation. Where, you know, if you borrow 100 million from the bank, if you don't pay your debt or your interest, you go to jail. So you make it clear for people, make things clear, so that every man, regardless of your tribe, your religion, you have access to government contracts. You have access to bank loans. So that I know most of you don't want to stay here. The reason why we are here is because the opportunities are very limited here. But if they can open up the opportunities like they do for other foreigners, I think most of us will back and go back home. We must invest in technology, because technology is the only way forward. We must be hardworking and honest. Honesty is the only way you can succeed with partners. We must also adopt visionary leadership, disciplined economic management, and a radical economic transformation agenda. These are the tools that we need to transform our continent. Rural collectives, agriculture, family farms, and small businesses must be encouraged. They must be given access to small term loan. They must be promoted. They must be taught how to do rural agriculture in community level. In a rapidly changing world, there is a need for us to create better opportunities for people in Commonwealth, so we can contribute fully to sustainable social and economic development across the region. Investing in young people, ensuring decent employment, education, health, prospect, promoting democracy, and creating enabling environments where creativity, leadership, and energy can flourish. That's the only way to invariably lay the foundation for a more prosperous, healthier, and stronger Africa. I'm therefore pleased to be part of the Commonwealth Africa Initiative, which will play an important global leadership role in advocating and advancing the African agenda. The Commonwealth African Summit is an important platform for Africa to engage, inspire, and mobilize resources and partnership for Africa development. And indeed, I think the Commonwealth must step up to ensure that they engage African Commonwealth countries too, so that we can have benefit. We must work together to end conflicts in Africa. That's a major challenge, because the war, fighting, kidnapping, bombing, look at what happened in Ivory Coast yesterday. Killing, whatever progress is killing. So we must increase in our security. We must work together to end conflict in Africa and dedicate our effort in promoting democracy, human rights, rule of law for a better Africa. Let's use this opportunity within the Commonwealth to create a unified and influential voice. Africa needs good leaders that can provide insightful direction. We can do better. We can do better even than China. It's just that we have to focus and concentrate. I'm therefore hopeful that this meeting will, amongst other things, result in a call for a stronger recognition and important role of Africa as an agent of change and as a driver of development in the Commonwealth. I do hope the Commonwealth will reciprocate likewise. We must commit unequivocally to investing in the Commonwealth Africa Initiative and placing Africa at the center of sustainable and inclusive development, thus harnessing our creativity, leadership, and social capital towards progress and resilience of Commonwealth countries and a more democratic and prosperous Commonwealth. Let me finally conclude by giving my own personal analysis of the situation of Africa. All over Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, West Africa, North Africa, East Africa, and North Africa, we are all enduring the same problem. We are now within the midst of the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is supposed to have been the leader for all former British colonies. Just like our former speaker, Mr. Adonis, just said, mentioning the benefits that is within the EU as compared to Commonwealth. But I do hope this new Africa initiative that is being championed within the Commonwealth will use it, will propose guidelines, regulations, solutions to help us help Africa. The honest fact is, what is killing us in our continent is poverty. And what is causing poverty is unemployment. What is causing unemployment is all this wars. So I hope, as all my brothers and sisters sitting here, it's not that they want to live here, but the opportunities back home are very limited. And once we're able to improve the situation there, I think it will be much more better. Thank you. God bless you.